Hey everybody, Rachel here from Rachthestamper.com, and today I wanted to show you this really pretty and very simple happy birthday card that I created using the Cool Treats stamp set. I thought it would be fun to use a whole bunch of different elements in this stamp set. So I have a little glimmer paper. I have these absolutely adorable embellishments. These are called the Sprinkles embellishments. And they have all different kinds of stuff in them. They're so fun. And then I also used a piece of vellum paper. So I thought this was a great way to display a lot of different elements that you're going to use with your card. Plus I have a really cool piece of designer series paper. And we're going to also do a little bit of heat embossing. So this is a lot of things going on in this card. It sounds complicated, but I promise it's not. So what we're going to use is we're using a Watermelon Wonder base. So I have a couple of these things pre-cut, so I'm going to show you. All right, so this is 4.5 by 11. We're going to score it at 4.25 by 11, score at 5.5, and we're going to just use our bone folder. And then I have a piece of designer series paper. This is from, God, I don't know if it's the Cool Treats. I can't think what this one's called. Cool Treats. Yeah, I'll make a note of it at the end. I don't want to dig for it. But this basically coordinates with the Cool Treats stamp set. And then what we're going to use is also a little square of white, Whisper White. This, I believe, is 3.5 by 2. 3.5 by 2. And then I have another piece of Soft Sky, and this is 4 by 1.25. And then I have some other little pieces here. So some of this I did ahead of time because I didn't want it to take 12 hours to do this video, just because of me cutting things out. So what I did is I made some of these ahead of time, and I just ran. This also has a coordinating die set, the Cool Treat stamp set. And what I did is I ran through, this is the popsicle with the bite out of it. And then I ran it through again just to get the stick. And I did this in crumb cake, and then I just layered them together. So you could do that with any type of glimmer paper. If you're really smart, what you'll do is you'll get the new the glimmer paper stack that was just released for Celebration. It has 3 colors in it. That'll be great to make these out of. And then I stamped a bunch of different waffle cones. I also die cut these out. And I did just some regular cones. I went over these with chocolate chip. And then I have some various sticks. The sticks you'll see are really tiny because I really only wanted this to be able to put this die cut onto. So I didn't need the entire stick because then you just have to trim it out to make sure it was neat. So one other thing I did ahead of time, just cut those out. And then we're going to use vellum for our little ice cream stamp. Okay, so let's get started. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a 2-step stamp. Let me move this over for the vellum. And what I did is I used Bermuda Bay. So you can use Bermuda Bay if you'd like, or you can use a different color if you want a different color ice cream cone. And I stamped, so you're going to use full ink for the background piece, but you're going to stamp off once and then stamp directly onto your vellum. And then you're going to stamp the swirl part, and this is going to go in full ink. And this is what's awesome about the photopolymer, is that you can line it up so perfectly. And there you have your little vellum ice cream cone. So you can use the die to cut this out. Okay, I've already done that, so that's there. Let me move this out of the way. Move both of those over. And then what I did, so on this first one, I kind of have 3 different cones, but I thought instead, let's stamp one on the background. So with this piece, I'm going to use Tip Top Taupe. And I also went ahead and I stamped the very tall Dreamsicle. I stamped Peekaboo Peach onto Peekaboo Peach, and then I just cut that out, and then I cut out a little white, and I went over this with Wink of Stella. But what I thought would be fun is to use the double popsicle stick for this one. So we're just going to set this here, and this is going to be up a little bit, so I kind of just wanted to eyeball where I would put it. So we'll just go right about there. I have my son and my niece here today if you hear any train playing in the background. All right, so there's your little double popsicle stick. And then what we're going to do is, since the vellum, you can see through it when you do glue dots, we're going to put it on a little spot where the darker ink is. That way you can't really see it quite as much. So I'm going to just do that with a mini glue dot. And just put that right on there. And then I'm going to just attach that onto one of the little ice cream cones. Okay. And then we'll end up sticking that one on there. And then we'll do the last with our popsicle stick. This one, I think both of these I'm going to pop up. So this one I already put a dimensional in the back of. So we're going to just pop that up right here. So we'll put that one there. This one we'll just put a tiny bit of snail on. Just like that. And then we'll put a dimensional onto this one as well. Yeah, so as you can see there, you can just stamp this with the stamp set, or you can cut these out and you can layer them on top of each other. There's ones that look like little lattice or little stripes. So I'm gonna just stick that on there as well, just like that. So there's our 3 ice creams. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just emboss this piece quickly, and then we'll just put the rest of the card together. So I'm going to grab my embossing buddy, and I'm gonna run this over just to reduce the static. And I have the happiest birthday, which is also the sentiment from that Staying Cool Treat stamp set. Just going to ink this up in Versamark. Okay, make sure it's nice and inky. Sorry about that. And we're going to stamp. Just give it a minute since it's photopolymer. And then we're going to go ahead and sprinkle our embossing powder onto this. Just give yourself a little scrap. And then sprinkle the silver embossing powder. Okay, and just give that a shake. Oops. Alright, so we're going to just set this on the side. And fill that back in. And I swear, you can use this so many times and it's like you never used it. It's still there. Okay, so now we're going to take our heat tool and we're just going to heat up the embossing powder. Alright, if you see, when you hold that up, you can also do this from the back. Some people do that, so you don't get any dark marks. Let me turn it. Just whatever you do, watch your fingers. It does get very hot. Just to make sure it's nice and embossed. Okay. And also, I know it's very tempting. Don't run your finger over it. It will smudge. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your Project Life corner rounder punch and you're just going to round the edges. Just like so. Another tip, if you're having some issues with this, make sure you push it in all the way. I was having that problem myself. I never really shoved it in all the way to the corner, and it was leaving a little ledge line, but once I started shoving it in all the way, it worked much better. Okay, so now we're just going to adhere all of this down. Where's my snail? So I'm going to just put the Designer Series paper in the center of the card. Okay, I'm going to put this on the bottom. Oops. Little snail right there. And I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Okay, so thank you guys for taking time to watch. We are doing a birthday blog hop right now. So if you leave your full name and a comment along with hashtag Stamp It Contest, you'll be entered to win a really fantastic prize. And there are at least, I believe, 12 in the hop this time. So 12 chances to win. This is a really fun card to make. It was super easy. And again, you could also, what I did with this one too, just to make it a little more fun, you use your fine tip glue pen. Sorry, I got distracted there by my own chatter. And I just put a teeny bit of glue just over top. Now this does have the little Wink of Stella on it. So if you don't want to put that on, you don't have to. But what I did is I just put a couple of these sprinkles embellishments. Just kind of dropped them. And I'm going to let this sit there for a second. So I'm not going to pick it up for you. But what you'll basically do is you're going to drop them on there. Just give them a little press. And then give it probably about five minutes or so to dry. And then what you'll do is when you stand it up, you'll notice which ones fall off. So you can kind of give it a tap. And then you'll have these left. And then the rest you can put back in. But this I thought was a really, really fun way to embellish and to use these little sprinkles. And it kind of looked like fun sprinkles, I thought anyway. So that's just another way you can pop up your card there, make it a little bit more fun. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email at rachthestamper@gmail.com. You can get all of these supplies and more in my online store 24/7 at rachthestamper.stampinup.net. Be sure to follow along with the blog hop so you can enter to win some great prizes. And thanks again for watching. Have a great day.